Right off the bat, we're looking for a hook. Vamos.
Yeah, not the best DPS player, but I try to flex.
Much better.
Okay. Okay. Yeah, we're getting picked out in the open here. One thing you recognize is definitely looks like you got caught off guard.
For sure.
Okay. So how we can deal with that is definitely a little bit earlier. We can click tab and kind of just check what characters they're running. And here we might notice they have a Hawkeye. And if they have a Hawkeye and we're on Bucky, a lot of what we're going to be doing is playing cover and avoiding Hawkeye most of the time. So what I would have suggested here is prioritize the magic, play your cover.
Okay.
Maybe you could go up here, look for hooks, and stay out of line of sight because Bucky's or Hawkeye's looking for you.
Gotcha.
No, sometimes that's gonna happen at the start of games, and it's like, oh, okay, they have a Hawkeye. So
Yeah.
one thing to just keep in mind is whenever we're walking back from spawn, right, we're telling ourselves, all right, watch out for the Hawkeye.
What am I? Invisible?
Okay. Get a really nice
Not so
hook.
fast. We make a good
Invis is
team.
down. Okay. Wide peeking. Hawkeye's dead. All good.
Oh, sneaky.
So it was fine to peek there. The Hawkeye was dead. Okay.
Think about that, like, so if we peek out here and we think about who's the most dangerous person on our team, well, it's probably Magic or Thor and stuff. So they're the most close quarters people.
Not so fast.
That's what I would say.
We make a good
Your
team.
cover is not as important at this point.
That's what I need.
Making sure you're in line of sight of healers. Good. Okay.
Better watch your back. Against the world!
I think at this point, you can notice the Magic probably isn't feeling the pressure. So what I'd want you to do here is know the Hawkeye's down. So you're free to have a bit more room, and Magic is up. Magic is the hard carry on the other team, just based on like she's doing well and just the character itself. And Bucky's a really strong counter. So like knowing that Magic's here, split from her team, you have Hook. Like, how do you think you could focus on her to take her out of the game?
Maybe. I mean, I wanted to push the Magic into that room, but
Yeah.
I feel like if I got isolated with her, I was just gonna die.
Yeah.
My healers are looking at the point, so I just kind of backed off, played the corner. That was like my thought process of what I did.
Right. So the thinking is like, I don't want to be split from my team and caught off guard.
Right.
One thing is keep in mind that we kind of seems like we lose a little track of her, and whenever we lose track, she uses that as an opening to go for you. So it's like right here. Abandon her, and then she comes in and gets us. So what I would have wanted you to do there is just basically play your cover and wait for Magic to make a mistake that you can then punish and get the pip.
Okay.
Better watch your back.
Right. Then that's kind of what you do with Thor. You just realize he's like, what is Thor doing here? You just look at him and come out.
Yeah.
Against the world!
I think we still lose a point here, though. For sure.
Watch me
Right. This is a really good target priority. You're just looking for the healer who's out of position, taking her out. Nice hook here. Hawkeye gets away too early though.
You're up.
Okay.
Good thing I was here.
Oh, this I got a good ult here, but my whole team died.
Yep.
And they capped the point. So,
All right. So yeah,
kinda
let's.
miss it.
Yeah, definitely. I can see how you feel that way, right? Because you use the ult, you get picks, but in the end, they get the objective, and that could kind of feel like a setback. So if we look at this, you can kind of recognize, like, in this point, let's see, we get a kill on the cloak, and notice that Magic still hasn't died, right? And Magic has ult. Now, at this point, it looks like you are in cleanup phase. So, just pushing up and getting the people who were back there, but Magic's totally unchecked. Venom's totally unchecked. So, Magic's point of view, just walks in here, gets a kill, Venom goes in here, caps. You're ulting. So, it's a good play. However, it's not the best play. And the best play there is definitely it's hunt the Magic, man. It really is play with your tanks, play with your supports, and look for her, hook her when you see her, and just make sure she can't play the game. If we take one more look at our team comp here, notice that, alright, we have a Namor and a Psylocke. These characters are way better at being like the flankers, or the putting pressure on the back line and cleaning up. Now, as Bucky, that's why I really think it's important to take a second, when you're coming back from spawn or at the start of the game, and just picking your priority, right?
Is Bucky a poke or a brawl character?
Bucky's definitely brawl, right? Because think about his range. You know, I know you've had some tough times when you were trying to snipe people with Bucky.
Right.
It's not fun. It's definitely not fun. So yeah, brawl, right? And brawl is really, really good against someone like Magic. Whenever you have stuns, you have a ton of health. Alright, close hook. I like the dash. Get out of the way of the Thor.
Glad to help.
Alright, Magic again. Magic. So here she is.
Partner.
She's gotten the kill on her Loki at this point. I'm still not looking for Magic. So here, so just knowing Magic is here, she has all her cooldowns, and she's looking for your supports. Like, how might you deal with her?
Probably try and hook her and then push them into my team so they can deal with it.
Yep, that'd be really good, right? So one thing we could do is just turn and start looking at her and shooting her, and whenever you see her make that mistake, you get that hook. And the number one thing that's not happening right now is Magic's feeling no pressure. Absolutely no pressure. So Concussion just kind of tears through your team here. Alright, so if it's a little bit of pressure, Psylocke deals with her, but Psylocke doesn't have the best 1v1, so he just gets one pushed away and killed. So at that point, I think it's definitely, like, we could have won this fight probably if we dealt with her earlier. And here's the crazy thing, is you're actually doing good on Bucky. Like, there's no, I'd say, like, I wouldn't say you're playing a bad game at all. What I want you to know is that Bucky can carry, and the number one way Bucky usually carries is by shutting down the, like, carry DPS on the other team.
Okay. So he's good at dealing with dive.
Yeah, definitely. He's really good at dealing with dive, and he's, like, along with Namor, pretty much the best 1v1 character in the game.
Back in action.
Nice 1v1 DPS.
I got you covered.
Alright, someone's got a touch. Oh no, point! Yo, you really wanted that cloak.
Yeah.
Okay.
I was so tunnel visioned.
Yeah, it definitely happens. I'm sure you'd be surprised if we went through the cams on every single play on your team. Everyone's trying to make their own play.
They are now.
Okay.
Oh, I'm fine. Don't mind.
All good. Just grouping up here. Alright, so magic, magic, magic. Where is she? Alright, so magic's getting picks.
That's what I need.
Right. So let's just go back a little bit. I'm curious if we ever like
Fine. Don't mind.
hear magic.
Oh, I'm fine. Don't mind me.
Alright. So at this point, I mean, of course, in this game, you might not be thinking so much about magic because you know you don't know what you know now. But like, just keeping in mind, you have hook. You have a dash, right? So whenever you're looking out for magic, how might you do that?
I guess I just wait for her because me
Mm-hmm.
personally, I wouldn't want to waste a dash just to get up to high
Mm-hmm.
ground and
Mm-hmm.
have one of my ability on cooldown.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you're not even sure magic's there. Now at this point, magic's dropping in. We have hook, we have dash. So then what?
Now we hook her
Yeah,
and then deal with her.
yeah, definitely. Right. Um, so yeah, this looks like just watching it from this point of view. Alright, so we're on magic alert. So we're just looking around, being eyes open, and then seeing magic's fighting someone up there. So we're aware. Now at this point, the magic's gonna get killed, so we just look up and grab her.
Oh, I'm fine. Don't mind me.
Done a little bit of a positioning mistake there. It's the standing out in the open and they have Hawkeye. Gotta be really, really conscious of that.
Child!
And the way you could deal with that is you'll see Bucky players will just literally like find the only position that Hawkeye can't find me. And you know, you play here or you play here, and that way Hawkeye has to go out of his way to even deal with you.
Your god is suffering.
Your attacks are beautiful.
Don't give them another inch, or else.
Oh, I'm fine. Don't mind me.
Vortex field.
Okay, you have ult. You know this is the time to make a play.
Bring on the
Totally choked it though.
Mm-hmm.
Got nothing done.
Okay. Let's go back a bit. And main thing I want you to keep in mind is we had the surprise, and then we gave it away. So the way that you can kind of catch people off guard is you could sit here for a little bit longer and just watch, right? Because they don't know you're there if you don't peek out. You watch this cloak and dagger, maybe she walks up a bit more, she gets busy, distracted, and then you can like ult combo her. It looks like you're familiar with the Bucky ult combo, so you know, just ult,
Yeah.
shoot her in the head, fist, and she's out.
armed and dangerous.
And you can tell, like, you know, that 2 seconds of heads up she has is why she fades.
Bring on the chaos. For mutant kind.
Okay.
Come, my minion.
Yeah.
The
Alright.
current score is
I think
that
this
is
is where I
2.
start playing Strange.
Time to
Mhm.
switch things up.
Yeah, I could definitely
Which
see,
side
like,
you're on. You'll
um,
need a top-notch
Strange is a
hero
really
to win
good
this
carry,
one.
right? And doesn't really seem like they have anyone on their team who's going to be able to, like, deal with you putting pressure in the front line. Except maybe Hawkeye? But I feel like Strange is really good into this brawl and dive thing that they have going on. Okay, let's go ahead.
Magic it. All those crises I quietly put out, you have no idea. The occult threats to this world are many, and they grow stronger. I am strengthened for battle. Leave me!
Okay, nice job using your fly to get out of there.
Odin spear.
Okay. But curious, like, how come you'd pushed here?
So my thinking was, I mean, my team's kind of getting rolled.
Yeah, yeah,
We're still we're literally right in front of spawn. So
yeah,
I figured I just try to get my ult like ASAP. So I pushed into them, do my
yeah.
AoE, get as much ult charge as possible, so we can win next fight.
Yep. Honestly, it worked, right? You're at 60%. You're all one shot. Um, just looking at your cooldowns for a second. Yeah, one thing I would have wanted you to keep in mind is definitely if you could wait a little bit longer to use your ability, you can have an escape strategy. You don't necessarily need to die and feed them ult charge. You can just it looks a bit like let's just go here. Um Playing your cover here, shooting them, going around the corner, maelstrom, or
Mm.
energy thing, and then fly back to high ground. And notice how the way we go about it leaves us to take 600 damage in like a second.
The Hawkeye.
Yeah, yeah, right? They have
Yeah.
so much damage on their team. So this is definitely a bit about playing your cover and just kind of as strange, you'd be surprised just how much like a top strange player can basically be a bullet sponge because he just doesn't if he uses his cover, if he uses his shield, and you weren't taking damage with such a
Good medicine.
Yep, definitely feeling the Hawkeye right now. Careful, returning around. Notice how we're turning around in the open. So let's look at the Hawkeye's point of view.
Punching a hole.
For some reason, he doesn't even care about you, but you could have died there. And how I'd want you to deal with that is respecting their damage and knowing that you have a shield, right? So if you're out in the open and you're taking a lot of damage, but you know something's behind you and you want to deal with that thing, let's shield ourselves and look at them until we get to cover, then start turning around and shooting.
What am I? Disappear!
Stark magic.
Alright, so we have ult at this point. Ooh. Yeah, that's the damage we're taking.
I am strength.
Check the shield, right? So on the left side, you see 340 health.
I am strength.
So, kind of really curious, how come we didn't shield? We're doing it here.
I am strength.
I don't know.
Right, okay.
I think I just let the reload
hmm
like go on fully so I can cancel it and then I shield, but it was obviously
Yeah,
too late because Hawkeye
yeah.
had a view on me and he just kind of headshot me, fucked me up.
hmm hmm Yep. So maybe thinking we're gonna be able to live and maybe get healed up, so it's no problem. No,
Yeah.
um, this is one of those moments where it's shielding yourself whenever you're walking back and taking damage. And I think it's happened maybe 3 times now. So let's really make sure we're using the most out of that because, like I said, we're going to be living a lot more, and it's going to set you up so that you can then maybe catch them off guard with your ult.
Good medicine.
Something's happening. Like,
Get that vehicle moving again!
I like that you're applying pressure to the main team, and then you didn't turn around, right? So you never took damage from behind, full health.
Mhm.
You also used your cover here, right? So if we look at the Hawkeye's point of view again, you'll see like he's gonna have a lot of trouble doing anything to you.
Yeah, I did realize that, and I started using the payload as a cover. 'Cause
Yeah,
since the first
nice.
opponent, it's like pretty open.
Yep, and it works so well because now at this point you have enough health so that you can ult in and stay alive and just do that to them. What can they do? Super well done.
Chaos! That's 3! Wow, 4 in a row!
An arcane assist, so to speak.
5! That's amazing!
One more thing you did really well is like recognizing from the very start that your ult is how we win this game. So playing for ult and then taking the opportunity you see, wiping their team, and this is kind of how we can just repeat the game.
Enemy in front of us.
Okay, yep, keeping shit up.
Never miss.
Against the world!
Odin's being out, dark magic. I am strengthened for battle.
Behold the god of thunder!
Nice shield on the Thor.
Bring on the chaos.
Leave darkness.
Only 60 seconds left!
Okay. A big thing we gotta work on is shield management. We'll kind of. I wish I had examples prepared. I didn't have any yet so far. So in a second, we'll actually just watch our top strange player and how they deal with this situation. So I'll just point out what I see as it goes. So, from the start, we burn a ton of shield, and
I am strengthened.
here, it's 3 Hawkeye bullets. Now notice that this is spam damage, right? So this isn't necessarily stuff we have to block ourselves from. Instead, what I would have wanted you to do is just jump, shield, get to here, and use cover. Now you'd have like, at least, you saved a lot of your shield there.
Yeah.
No, the next
So
thing is,
what I was
yep, what's up?
what I was thinking is I like to like block heals most of the time. So if I saw the Venom dive and he was alone, so I just like went ahead and tried to block heals, but I really don't think it was a good position to be there and just hold shield. I think you're right with that one.
Yep, blocking heals is a really, really good idea. So and recognizing situations to do that is also important. So usually we don't need to be blocking heals for someone who's very far away from us, like the Venom.
That's true.
Instead, it's usually you're blocking heals from like this Thor, for example. You just walk right here, and cut the heal.
Right.
Okay. So the next thing is notice the trade-off. So now we have 400 health in our shield, and next point is when we're taking a lot of damage, especially if we're blind, want to be using that shield and backing up.
Never miss.
Against the world!
Odin's being out, dark magic.
Alright, so we're in cloak thing. So I like that you're not using your shield at all. I think the cloak thing just runs out. Yep.
Behold
Now we're blocking spam damage again. So here
Strengthened.
we're full health. So using your shield there is gonna put you in a bad spot because we're gonna have maybe 100 left to block the Thor thing. Thank God you have it, and you use it at the right time. So this is it might seem super nitpicky, but whenever you're playing Doctor Strange, the more shield you have, it means the more health you have, and the more health you have means the more you can be the damage carry with way too much health and way too much damage and just deleting the other team. So you'll see like the top Strange players are going to be really, really good at just using their shield at the right times so that they always have it when they need it. And like myself, like I'm about Celestial Strange player, and this is stuff I've like had to work on a lot because I realize like a lot of times they die and just don't have the shield when I want it. Like ah, shit. So I'm gonna look at a super good Strange player, and we'll just find an example. Usually I have these prepared just like clips I can show you right away. Unfortunately, I didn't do the prep that I wanted to today, so sorry about that. But it'll be better in the future. So let's see. Yeah, this is probably fine. Oh, it's the same map and everything, so love it. All right.
There's still a chance to stop them.
Let's go back further.
They've made it halfway. Stop them.
Enemy in front of us. More tentacles than Gargantos.
Oh wow, this is a crazy fight. Alright, so we're gonna go into everything. We're gonna shield whenever we need it because they're all looking at us. And no shield left. Oh no. Totally burned. Pushing, pushing, pushing.
I am ready to put on a show.
Ouch, dark magic.
Not holding shield the whole time. So notice this like the jumping, jumping, shielding.
Mhm.
And that's meaning that you're moving further back faster, and you're also preserving some of the shield health. Clobbered, Bucky,
By the eye of
Fat Strangle. Let's go ahead a little bit further. Okay, yeah, this looks good. So notice like the shield thing, like he's jumping shield, jump shield, not wasting too much of it.
Turn around.
wild creatures have risen from the realm below. Ouch, dark.
Also preserving the shield, so he's not just holding it and letting it break. You'll see at this point he decides to not use it. He's full health.
Medicine.
Just tank the damage. Now, also another thing. Keep an eye on the shield bar at the left side of the screen. He's not going to use his shield for a while because he just wants it to recharge.
Strengthened for battle.
The king of the seas has called forth his own army.
So his team gets a pick, and now he's deciding to push. And whenever he pushes, he usually does this jump shield, which is meaning that he's, you know, keeping his health bar all the way up,
Leave me, darkness.
but not wasting soul shield.
You'll go.
He stopped them in their tracks.
Okay. So conscious of the hook, probably gonna use shield. Yep, blocks it. Right? And you can see this whole time. Like, what is he not doing with the shield?
Just holding it.
So we might have seen like another strange player is just gonna stand here and hold shield the whole time. And you can just picture like his shield's gonna be gone.
I am ready to put on a show.
Okay.
By the eye of Agamotto.
Has it when he needs it, right? So then, like, he's gonna block two things here, and it's all because he has enough shield health to do it.
By the eye of Agamotto.
Double KO.
He blocks three things. He blocks the word and a warrior. Strange. Like, what?
So close.
More tentacles than Gargantos himself.
And there's like this entire time, yeah, there's little happening, but like he's literally not dropped below like 500 health. It's insane. Notice there's another thing he's not doing here, which is he's not doing the shield shoot because his shield's really low. Anytime you pop your shield, then the regeneration thing goes on like a cooldown, so it's not going to recharge. And he wants to be max.
Your powers are mine.
I am ready to put on a show.
Pentagram of
I am
You'll
the
have to keep fighting until we have a winner. It's the grand finale.
It's clobbering time!
You can't block the thing all, can you?
It's crazy. I feel like you should. Instead, what you gotta do is you gotta fly over it. Oh wow, that sucks. Alright, silence, no touches. That's a game. Alright, so yeah, right there, you can tell like really it's surprising, but like what separates like a good strange from a great strange is the way they use their shield.
Yeah.
Okay.
Shield management.
hmm And this is it's like all about not dying. Let's go back here. Okay. So now we can see how that changes things. Okay. Um, you remember what point we were on? Music attack?
Little over halfway.
A little over half. Okay, so a little bit for this.
Our
Get
adversaries
around
gather.
here. Alright, let's go back a bit.
Vehicle reached the checkpoint. Keep up the momentum. Giles!
Yep, using your shield while they're getting out of there.
I feel like
looks
this
like
was
we're
could have
promote.
worked,
Yeah, that was great.
but like I don't know. I feel like they could have countered it easily.
Uh-huh.
But
Uh-huh. So keeping in mind what they could have used to counter it, like how do you think that might have gone wrong?
I did see the invisible use push, so that
Yeah.
was gone.
In a row.
But I don't know. I feel like the cloak had enough time
Mhm.
to shield the teammates from ulting.
Yeah, definitely. Right, there was some possibility of like they just see it coming and they get the cooldown off, right? Cloak tried to do it. Um, another thing to keep in mind is that this worked really well. And one reason why I think it worked really well is you caught him off guard.
By the eye of Agamotto.
Came right from the corner.
Double kills. That's
And it was
three.
really intentional, right? It's like
Four in a row.
even if you didn't have your fly, you still found a way to surprise them. Okay, let's go ahead a bit. We'll do this one kind of early. One thing to pay attention to whenever you're on tank and you lose a fight, is you or not lose a fight. I'm about to say you win a fight. Push up, right? So you can push up more than you are right now, and that looks like taking any of this free real estate and saying that's mine. So you'll be up here. And what's great about that is now you can um, prevent their whole team from taking this entire space. So let's see how that might. See what they do. Alright. Yeah, notice how Hawkeye can cross?
Hmm.
What if you were here?
He can't.
hmm He's just
That's
like
true.
boom, 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 and it's like, oh my god, heal me, heal me. So it's like that's definitely something to keep in mind. That is something I have examples for. So let's just go back 1 minute, and I'll show you. Yeah, keep pushing. Here's one. So in this one, um, it's a 6v4, and what some teams would do is they'd just cap the point and stand around. But instead, what this team does is they just have the tank player walk up, walk up, walk up, and he's telling his team, walk up, walk up, walk up with me, and they're gonna be able to first clean up the people from the last fight. It's not exactly what I'm all about. What I'm mostly focused on is how they go so far up. So they're gonna hold here,
Render me assistance.
and then that's gonna lead them to have all this space, so that whenever people peek out, they die. You see the kill feed, Loki gets picked. Get back to Reds.
I am strengthened for battle.
Get in there.
Alright, so we get that kill on Hawkeye. Alright, a lot of stuff's going on. Keep in mind your shield, right? So, here, we're taking damage from the front, and there's people behind us doing damage to your backline. So, like, how might you, get to your backline without taking damage?
Maybe jump backwards and shield.
And shield what?
And shield the backline, the enemy's backline.
Yeah, definitely, right? And now we're gonna be having a bit more health, and we're gonna be fighting this Thor. Push back up. I like this, like, target priority. You're just going for the healer, making sure they feel pressure. There was one. Very nice. Alright, so remember we just talked about it. So now it's a 6v3. You have full health. We just saw Hawkeye up here. So, like, how might you, take advantage of that and make them feel the pressure?
Probably push up to the 2 doors up front, so at least we
Yeah.
get the second point.
Yeah, here, right? Because, like, there's no way they're coming in here. And if you're here, then maybe it's easy to take a fight with Hawkeye.
Get ready. Here come the bad guys.
Oh, wow. What?
You
Alright.
just kind of
Yeah, I sent it.
Vehicle reached a checkpoint. Keep
I don't
up
know
the
about that,
momentum.
Mr. Hawkeye, but yeah, whatever. Free kill. So we walk up, and yep, we're doing exactly what we need to do. Let's just push up, take space, get picks.
Good medicine. Get in there. Never miss.
Us against the world.
Odin's spear.
Okay.
Thor.
Take a look behind you.
I purge the darkness.
Okay. Just looking
Not
around a
good.
little bit. Yep, So notice how we have ult, right? And we're just beating up a Thor. So, knowing that you could wipe their whole team, what it might be like, how might you do this differently? What's next?
Well, realize my team's backing up, so I guess I would just back up with him since they used the cloak
Mm-hmm.
and dagger route.
Mm-hmm.
And then
Mm-hmm.
once we're grouped up, I can try and make more space with my ult, maybe
Yeah.
casting them now.
Disappear.
Mm-hmm. Yep, so maybe backing up while they're doing this or full ults. Yep. So we're getting a little caught out here. Let's walk back a bit and kind of understand the context. So, they already used Cloak ult, and we're down Thor. So keeping an eye on the kill feed. We're down 1, but at the same time, this is a winnable fight, right? We have Hella ult here. And also keep in mind, you're playing against Thor Venom. You don't necessarily need to back up. They have no front line. You have a free ult. So what I would want you to do here is maybe recognize that you are the win condition. Just like you did in that very first point, you can like look for that opportunity, walk up, fly in, ult them.
Disappear. Take a look
One more thing to keep in mind is you can kill through Invis ult. Only if you use your ult and then use your full charge. Actually, let me go back here a little bit. I think it might have helped a little bit to recognize, like, because we can talk about how you think through this, and like recognize when to use your ult. Like, so at this point, right? You use Cloak ult. Okay, so back up. Then it's looking for that opportunity to use your ult. So like at this point, maybe. We know Cloak ult's about to end. Like, how might you hold this space and like get that win before it gets messy?
Probably fly now, alt, cancel fly, and then alt on the cloak.
Yeah, yeah, definitely.
Disappear!
Yep.
Behold the god of...
You owe me one. Got you! Go have fun.
Alright, so this fight ends up going our way.
I don't fear.
And we have ult. So this was definitely something where it's like, alright, yeah, maybe we lose that fight, but we know what to do for this one.
Good medicine.
Or not lose that fight, but maybe we don't use our ult in that fight. But there's an opportunity here. Alright, we noticed the Hawkeye's a little on the left. I'm a little curious why you aren't chasing them.
I don't think I even saw him, to be honest.
Oh,
I didn't notice him.
okay. Got it. So he's right there. Yeah,
Maybe I did.
so
Yeah.
whatever it is, it's like we recognize, alright, that's someone else's job, I think. Although I would definitely focus on taking out the most dangerous people on the enemy team, like we talked about with Bucky. So it's like recognizing people are out of position, like this Hawkeye, and just walking up and taking them out and then get back to the team. Got boom, dead, out.
Good medicine.
Even here, yep, you're doing it. It's nice. Alright, yeah, keeping in mind the magic's gonna come in here. Yep, nice. Alright, this is a prime ulting situation.
By the eye of Agamotto!
Nice, so you'll be in this.
Dark magic!
Alright, so with the Hawkeye dead, it's not gonna be a lot of team, no, not many damage from their team. Going for the brutal block here. They're actually on Widow. Oh goodness. Let's get that. Let's block her
I
off.
should have done it in cover.
Yeah.
I don't know what it was in.
Well, definitely, like, there's a lot of time pressure here, right? I mean, a portal block takes a while.
Asgard's might!
I am strengthened for battle.
Alright, nice. So we zone him off.
Current score is
And that round goes our way. So this one's definitely looking like a close game. Doesn't quite go our way in the end, unfortunately.
Good medicine.
Okay. So let's get back to talking about shield.
I am strengthened for battle.
So my
Yeah, I
question for
should've-
you is like, how, when are we just, when might we not shield anymore?
Good medicine.
Maybe once my shield is low. Like if they're just spamming damage, then I guess I don't
Yeah.
want to shield. And since payload's not really that far up either.
Right? We might want that shield for later. Also keeping in mind that just standing here and holding shield doesn't change anything, right? Like, it's not like they're gonna kill anyone, really. Maybe Hawkeye gets a lucky headshot, but they're not even on Hawkeye anymore. So, I don't know. I think what might be nice to see is you, instead of like using your shield just to block spam damage, use your shield to take space. So what that looks like is like jumping up, shield, getting to the strong spot, and then using your cover to start shooting people.
Leave me, darkness!
And that's kind of what you're doing here. Although we do a lot, because it looks to me like you're not using the shield for to get somewhere. And then if we're always using our shield when we're out in the open, and we're always out in the open, we're never gonna have any shield. Alright, yep, this is good. I really like this spot. So, like, at this spot, your shield's really low, right? And like knowing your shield's low, knowing you're close to them, like how can you just start being the Doctor Strange, being the carry?
Mm. Well, I would have to pressure the hell off
Mm-hmm.
since she has a clear line of sight on me in the corner that
Like,
I'm at.
pew, pew, right.
And then once she backs off, I guess I could push up
Mm-hmm.
and start taking cover on the ambulance as the enemy's team is backing up.
Yeah.
Hopefully, my DPS got some picks there.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yep, and definitely using like your Doctor Strange health and damage to like take that space and make them feel like they need to run away. So
Hmm.
one thing I definitely want you to keep in mind is we haven't talked about the shield. So our shield's at 100 health, and it's a really key part of taking space. So and backing off. Now, how I would want you to go about that is whenever our shield's low, make sure we don't use it because we want it to recharge. Now we use it right there, and that means it's
Yeah.
going to be like 100 health all the time. The next thing I want you to think about is when you're taking space, doing the jump shield or shoot shield thing, so that you're taking less damage. And whenever you're leaving from a space, using the jump shield and jump shield to take less damage. But really, really avoid two things, which is shielding out in the open to bug spam damage, and then also shielding whenever you have very little shield. So now we don't have it! Oh.
Us against the
Yeah,
world.
I see what you're saying.
Get ready. You'll have to keep fighting until we have a winner. Disappear.
Looking pretty good. We really gotta build our ult and see the vision, but we also have the touch point.
The moon haunts you.
Kind of, we're at that point. Okay. Yeah, definitely think like being the first to die in that team fight is where it all kind of fell apart.
3. The right heroes could make all the
Okay,
difference.
so let's go ahead.
I've seen many futures.
Help.
I am strengthened for battle.
Over here. Only one. Hold still. I'm trying to help.
My ally.
Yeah, just terrorizing the cap. Alright. Love to see it. Okay. Yeah, like you're taking space, you're also going for healers.
It seems Krakoa is in good hands, my kiddo.
Alright, so magic's up top. Looks like we're losing track of magic here. I'm kind of curious. Oops. How come you don't like look for her or fly for her?
Uh, I'm not sure. I don't think I was thinking about it, to be honest.
Got it. Yeah, I've noticed that so far. It seems like magic isn't much of a big threat in the way you're playing. And just keeping in mind that anytime you're giving magic space, we're giving her time to get healed up. We're giving her time to get in position, and then assassinate your team. So this is why it's really important, whether you're on Strange or whether you're on Bucky, to mark magic, or in other words, make her feel like she's being targeted.
Do your worst.
In this situation, you could have done that by flying up, shooting her. You don't even have to commit to it. It's just shooting her.
Bring on the
Leave
chaos.
me darkness.
Hold still. I'm trying to call up time. Help. So cold. So cold.
Okay. Magic goes around, gets a flank, gets a kill.
Us against the world.
We build up support ults at this point.
They got behind. Call up time.
I don't think I should have done this here. I kind of chased my knight.
Yep. Find ourselves a little out of position. He's a really good shield. Ooh, again, this is all about shield. So, notice, let's just watch our shield this whole fight. And realize that we don't have it when we need it. Alright, so, Here we're just shielding spam damage, even though all the damage is actually coming from the cloak smoke, which we can't shield. So at that point, I would have dropped my shield and would have just taken cover. Next, we're gonna walk up here and we're gonna do a little shoot shield spam, and that's meaning our shield isn't recharging.
Leave me, darkness.
A little more spam, right? So we're canceling the recharge. I understand it, right? We don't want to be taking damage from it. It's just really you got to be aware of what that costs you. So now we're here. Alright, so it doesn't go our way. Alright, so yeah, so we're kind of at that 5-minute mark, and since this game just ended, we'll do a quick recap. The number one thing that I think you need to work on, Strange, is it isn't
Shield.
just using your shield. It is definitely shield. It's also using what to do instead. So it's using cover, right, and not using shield. Because the way you use shield makes sense if you're always out in the open, right? Because you're going to be taking spam damage, and no one wants to take that, right? And the way you can deal with it is starting to look for this cover and start shooting people like, and then like now you're not taking that damage. Next thing is like the general idea that we need to work on is target priority. So I notice a lot you aren't respecting their like carry DPS on the other team. Whether it's Hawkeye having a line of sight that we aren't avoiding, and or it's Magic, being in a really strong position or setting up to get there, and then not. I'll see you just kind of ignore her. What I want you to do instead is, in a funny way, it's kind of like what you do with this Moon Knight. It's like you see the Moon Knight and you just start making him feel like he's being targeted, and like now the entire other team's just like, oh my god, Moon Knight needs help. Moon
Yeah.
Knight needs help. And now Moon Knight isn't killing your backline. No, picture that you use these two things at the same time, right? So now you're like using cover, you know where their carry DPS is, you're putting pressure on him, you're not taking damage, and then whenever you realize like, oh, I'm in a little bit of a tricky spot, you jump out with your shield, get to a strong spot, and just kind of rinse and repeat, rinse and repeat. And that way, I think like you get those things sorted out, you can start to rely on like the other things you're already really good at to carry games.
Mhm.
So like you're already really good at using your ult. Your mechanics are already pretty good. Like you're not making that like you have everything you need to carry games, I think. Especially if you're playing Strange and Bucky, dude. Celestial is yours.
Gotcha. Yeah, I mean, thanks for the. It was a really good coach session. I learned a lot from that.
Awesome. I'm really glad you like it.